All right, I'm gonna bash the DEX real quick. So I actually really like the shape of the DEX, but it has completely fumbled some aspects of its design and build quality, so let's get into it. I'm gonna fluff it up a little bit first. So the shape of the DEX feels like a hybrid between the Vaxi AX and the Pulsar X Lite V3. It reminds me of the AX because the DEX has a nice palm-filling feeling under the thumb side of the mouse, and the DEX just feels a little bit rounder here by comparison to the AX shape. And it reminds me of the Pulsar X Lite V3 because it feels a little more present or less aggressive in its angle in the middle of the mouse compared to something like the EC2. That's to say the DEX feels a little bit broader in the hump and given a touch more support up into the palm of your hand. And then one final observation is that the front end feels very slim, very tall and flat when compared to some other ergo options. And this is really nice for your sort of finger placement on the front end of the mouse. Overall, it is very comfortable. So now that we have fluffed the shape of the mouse, I want to talk a bit about the button implementation, and the side buttons feel pretty awful. Pre-travel on the side buttons is crazy, and there's no feedback at all to help you register that the click has actually happened. I can almost bounce my thumb on this button without it actuating if I'm not careful. And I find this to be very distracting in game because my confidence in the button is low. So something that I comment on in my other videos is I really enjoy it when a button implementation is just completely, wholesale intuitive. It works when you want it to work. There's no distracting factor there at all. And the DEX is not that experience for me. It's very distracting. So to add to this, the clicks themselves feel like they're reverberating or pinging inside the mouse shell. And I had the same issue with my Logitech G502, which was why I sold that mouse in the end, because the mouse 1 and 2 clicks were not satisfying at all for me to press. So this is the DEX. And now this is my NPO1. And then finally, this is my FK2. So my personal opinion, I think Logitech need to do something about their button implementation in their next release, and this feels like clear complacency from them. There's been no obvious investment in this aspect of the mouse, and that's a real shame because I actually really like the shape and I do perform quite well with it despite the buttons feeling pretty suboptimal to me. Given the price of this mouse, I think it's quite difficult to recommend given that the buttons are so poor. But if the shape sounds good to you, I think this is one of those mice where fortunately you can buy it on Amazon, so you can buy it, give it a go. If it doesn't float your boat, send it back. All right, baby, peace out.